What is going on, all you Dragon Ball Z fanatics out there? My name is VideoGAMEsuperfreak, and I'm here to talk to you guys about the brand new installment in the Dragon Ball Z game franchise entitled Dragon Ball Xenoverse. And man, I have wanted to do a Dragon Ball video about a video game for like ages, and now I finally have the chance. I love the game, I love the series, and I love the characters, so I figured, you know what, why not do a video about the upcoming game and see how people respond and react to this. So I'm just going to talk to you guys about my thoughts, some news and information, and what we can expect for the future of upcoming Dragon Ball Z games. Now, should we have any fear about this game and how it's going to look? No, because the people, Dimps, who created Dragon Ball Z Burst Limit and Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3, and not to mention the awesome PC game Dragon Ball Online, are making Dragon Ball Xenoverse. Now, this game pretty much mirrors Dragon Ball Online. If you've ever played Dragon Ball Online or ever seen anyone play Dragon Ball Online, you know what I'm talking about. By that I mean you can create your own character, unlike that crap Ultimate Tenkaichi. Yeah, that game was fun. Sarcasm. But this game, you can do so much more, and your characters have so much more potential. For example, you can create whenever you create your character, you can you can have way more customized options. Like you can customize their eyes, their ears, their hair, and you have way more of a selection than you did in Ultimate Tenkaichi. Because in Ultimate Tenkaichi, you only had like what, 5 hairstyles? I believe it was like 5 hairstyles. But this game, there's also possibly over 126 characters. Not only that, but in-game transformations have been confirmed, and this is totally different from Dragon Ball Battle of Z, because in Dragon Ball Battle of Z, you could not do in-game transformations, and that was kind of disappointing because everybody wanted to see yourself just go, ah! So you like turn into a Super Saiyan, but you couldn't do it. You had to choose that Saiyan, and you had to go with it. And every character that you see here are the races that you can choose between, and I'm kind of confused as to whether or not you're going to be able to make your own moves or use moves from pre-existing characters. Like in this one, we see the character do the Kamehameha. This character seems to be doing some alternate move. Never seen that move before. And also, you can intervene with the past DBZ storylines. Like we see the creative character watching Goku and Vegeta fight for the first time, and here we see him fighting on Namek alongside Piccolo and Gohan. So that's no doubt when Frieza shows up. And here we have Raditz and the creative character helping Goku and Piccolo. Now, how will this affect the Dragon Ball Z storyline? Is it going to change? Are you going to be able to play the regular Dragon Ball Z storyline without interfering? Well, according to this upcoming video, we actually do have a chance to play the campaign without interfering with our created character. So there's like 2 different campaigns, kind of like there was with Ultimate Tenkaichi. You can play the regular campaign, and then you can do essentially hero mode. You can go do the generic Dragon Ball Z storyline that we all know and have come to love, or you can rewrite the course of history and create your own Dragon Ball Z world, which I think is possibly the best idea these Dragon Ball Z creators for these games have ever come up with. That's actually pretty awesome, because like I've always wondered whenever I watch this show, like, man, if I was there, I would have done that differently. I would have been there in time before all my friends died. I would have been there before before Frieza got there, or you know, something like that. But now with this game, we're actually having a chance to actually do that and make a difference and create our own Dragon Ball Z storyline. And that is probably, like I said, the best idea that they have ever come up with when it comes to a Dragon Ball video game. I'm actually really excited to see how other people have their storylines go, and I want to see how mine can go, because I want to see all the options and choices I can make. It actually reminds me of Telltale's The Walking Dead video game, where you have to make your own choices, and your choices affect how the story goes. So I'm kind of thinking that it's probably going to be something along those lines. So will it drastically change the storyline and how Dragon Ball Z ends in the Buu saga? Maybe. I'm not entirely sure, but it might. Then again, it might not. So that's something to look forward to. Also, Arcosians. Now, the races that have been named so far are Saiyan, Earthling, Majin, and Namekian. But in a recent V-Jump magazine, in the back you could see an Arcosian from Dragon Ball Online. Now, does this mean that the Arcosians, Frieza's race, are a playable character? We're not entirely sure yet. It could just be a character that you get a mission from, but I'll keep you posted on that. So far, like I said, the ones that we have announced are the Saiyan, which is what you're seeing on the screen right now, and you have the Earthling, which you're seeing right now. Don't know how that'll work, but we'll have to see how that unfolds. Then you have the Majin class. Now the Majin class is kind of like Majin Buu, Kid Buu, stuff like that. And then we have, yeah, another Saiyan. This is another one of the Saiyan class, or Saiyan race. And another thing that confused me is that it is said to be so that every character is going to have an in-game transformation. Now this kind of confuses me, because naturally if you're a Saiyan, you're going to become a Super Saiyan. If you're a Namekian, a Super Namekian. If you're a Majin, probably becoming like your kid version, like Kid Buu, like you'll become Kid so-and-so, which is like your base or maximum power. I don't know how that will work. I mean, that seems a little bit more sense. That makes a little bit more sense than the next point I'm about to bring out, and that's the Earthling. How is the Earthling supposed to have an in-game transformation unless you become something like Maju, and you have like a Majin that you confuse with or something like that? I don't know how that works, but we'll have to see how they deal with the Earthling. So we'll have to see how they use their moveset and transformation. Now another thing I want to talk about is DLC, or what-if characters. Now Super Saiyan Bardock and Super Saiyan Vegeta were incorporated in Dragon Ball Z Battle of Z, but Super Saiyan Gogeta was not. I don't know what the problem was or why he was not added, but he is a main story character, as you want to put it. He's kind of like Gotenks, and I don't know why they didn't add him. Other characters, like what-if characters, like Super Saiyan 3 Gogeta, Super Saiyan 3 Broly, and not to mention Super Saiyan 3 Vegito. These were all what-if characters that they could have added in Battle of Z, and I hope that they can incorporate them somehow in Dragon Ball Xenoverse, possibly as what-if characters. Now another thing to mention is Dragon Ball GT. Now I know you're all kind of like, Dragon Ball GT, here we go, but no, think about it like this. What if they added Dragon Ball GT characters and just didn't go into the storyline? They could have the storyline as DLC if you guys don't prefer to play it. And think about it, you guys could use Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta. Imagine using these characters paired up against with the gods. Now that's another thing I'm going to talk about right now. Will the gods be making an appearance in this game? It would be pretty redundant if they weren't, being that this game takes place after Battle of Gods. It would be kind of weird not to see Super Saiyan God Goku, Bills or Beerus, and Whis, being that they were in Battle of Z, and this game takes place after Battle of Z. It's the next Dragon Ball Z game, so they should be in this game. It's been speculated / rumored. Another thing I want to talk about is 2v2. We can see in a lot of the pictures that have been leaked that a lot of characters are teaming up against common enemies, but it hasn't been confirmed, so we'll have to look out for that. Another thing that I want to talk about is open world. Now, the creators of Xenoverse Dimps have said that Dragon Ball Xenoverse will not be an open world game, but the picture that has been released here kind of contradicts them, because you see your character talking to Yamcha, and that's kind of confusing because that looks like open world to me. So we'll just have to keep our eyes peeled for that to see what transpires in the future. Next I want to talk about is the correlation between Dragon Ball Online and Dragon Ball Xenoverse. Dragon Ball Online is a game into which you can create your own storyline, so to speak. You can create your own Saiyan, you can choose you can create your own Saiyan, you can create your own Namekian, you can create your own Majin, so on and so forth, and you can basically create your own story for that character, kind of like Ultimate Tekenichi's Hero Mode for Dragon Ball Z Ultimate Tekenichi. Now, granted, that game was a flop, but it did have a pretty decent idea. If Dragon Ball Ultimate Tekenichi was more like Dragon Ball Online, I can pretty much assure that the game would have done better if it had better storyline and better controls. But we're not talking about Ultimate Tekenichi, we're talking about Dragon Ball Online. Now, Dragon Ball Online takes place, I believe it takes place after GT or after the Buu Saga. I could be incorrect in what I'm saying. Please correct me if I am incorrect in what I'm saying, but what happens is that you basically choose a character, you go on with this character, and you meet friends along the way. As you can see in this trailer, you see the Saiyan becoming friends with the Namekian, and it's kind of like the classic Goku, Piccolo, bond rivalry that they have. Like, they're friends, but at the same time they always compete to be better than one another. And as you guys know, whenever the Cell Saga took place, that bond or rivalry was replaced with Vegeta, because Vegeta was the one that was always trying to fight Goku and be better than him, and Piccolo couldn't really compete with what the Saiyans had to offer, such as Super Saiyans 1 through 3, and now God, so Piccolo kind of backed off, so to speak. But another thing I want to talk about, I'm getting off subject here, is the costumes. As you can see, these guys have some pretty sweet costumes, I must say. So will you be able to use costumes such as this, or will you have to use preloaded costumes? By preloaded, I mean costumes from characters that we've already seen throughout the Dragon Ball Z universe, such as Goku's gi, Krillin's gi, Yamcha's gi, Piccolo's outfit, Trunks' clothes, Vegeta's battle armor, Nappa's battle armor. Will these be things that you can choose? Well, naturally they would be, but can you create your own clothes, so to speak? Like this Saiyan's outfit, how he has like the stripes on the back and the gi the Kai symbol on the back, and the Namekian, how he has the mouth guard like the ninjas have, or had in old times. So I'm kind of wondering if we will be able to use or equip these costumes, and hopefully this game can redeem the costumes that we had for Ultimate Tekenichi, because we only had like a select few of costumes and they weren't really different. Like we had like Goku's costume, Piccolo's costume, Vegeta's outfit, his Saiyan outfit. I mean, stuff like that. That was really all that you could do, and we only had, like, as I said before, like 5 hair options. So I'm kind of hoping this game offers more customization wise. And whenever you went Super Saiyan, that's another thing. Whenever you went Super Saiyan in that game, it didn't really matter which hairstyle you had, unless you were like your hair would like always look pretty much like a generic Super Saiyan. Like it wouldn't look, it wouldn't look any different. Now another thing I want to talk about is on the screen you can see the Saiyan using the Kamehameha and the Namekian using Piccolo's light grenade. So where did they learn these techniques? Did they simply just study them? Did they create them on their own without realizing that the technique had already been created once before? Or did Trunks teach them? Because Trunks was in Dragon Ball Online, and he did, in a sense, train you. Now, getting to Trunks, in Dragon Ball Xenoverse, Trunks does train you in this game as well. He sends you to missions to the past so that you can alter them and fix anything that may be wrong with the time stream. So maybe Trunks is the one, or the key rather, as to how you learn the Kamehameha, the Special Beam Cannon, the Masenko, the Final Flash, the Destructo Disc. Although who would want to use the Destructo Disc? Anyways, it's possible that Trunks is the one that teaches you those moves. Another thing to mention is the quality of the game, because that's always a major issue as to what the game will be running in. The game will be running in crystal smooth 180p. Another thing to mention is the cinematic punches, as you just saw with Frieza and Goku, and as you're seeing right now on the screen with Vegeta and Goku. You see that you can now do these cinematic punches that you can initiate on your own by getting a high enough combo. That was something that was tried to be implemented in Dragon Ball Z Ultimate Tekenichi, but it didn't really work out because it really just involved a bunch of button mashing, and it eventually turned out into you not really getting to do anything. It was all just really a cinematic cutscene. That's really what the game was. It was just a bunch of button mashing and cinematic cutscenes. Another thing to mention is the Dragon Ball Xenoverse trailer. As you can see right here, you see Goku and Vegeta fighting, and you see them clashing. So will you be able to do clashes like you did in Raging Blast 2, like shoot your Kamehameha out and you do like a beam clash? Will you be able to do that in this game? It's uncertain at the moment, but that could just be like a cutscene in the game. But if you are able to do that in the game, then this game is definitely taking bits and pieces from Burst Limit and Raging Blast 2. So it'll be awesome to see those mechanics reincorporated into the game, because I did miss that whenever I did play Battle of Z, because that was always a fun part, like clashing with my friends, like, oh, you think you got me? Well, you really don't. And we just like clash at the same time, and we like press as many buttons as we could, like wiggle the wiggle the left stick back and forth as much as we could to get that clash to see who would win, and it would always be just so much fun. I enjoyed doing that, and I hope that this game incorporates that, because that was always a mechanic in the series and in the movies, and I hope that they bring it into this game, because that's it's not really anything major, but it's something to think about. All right, now getting into the last bit of the video. This is the Dragon Ball not Raging Blast, Dragon Ball Xenoverse rather. Dragon Ball Xenoverse rumors. I'm going to be discussing some of the rumors that have been circulating the air, and I want to address some of these because a lot of these are just redundant. So, here we go. Dragon Ball Xenoverse is scheduled to release sometime next year. There's no official date and has not been no official date has been confirmed as of now. That seems legit. That is actually truth. That's true. There is no official date at this point in time. There's just not. There's nothing we can do about that. We just got to sit and wait. However, some website or K-drama, whatever, reported on their website that Dragon Ball Xenoverse will allegedly be released sometime on January 2015. And here's the clincher, and it could include the Super Saiyan God 2. Wow. Okay, let's just talk about this for a minute. How are you going to include the Super Saiyan God 2 whenever we don't even know, number one, if there is a form higher than God, and number two, God 2 has not even been announced, so we don't even know if that's even a thing. Granted, people thought that God 2 was triggered whenever Goku absorbed Bill's attack in the Battle of Gods movie, and you saw his hair stick up, and then Bill's was like, "Oi, what did you do?" And then he was like, I don't know. And then Bill's like, "You really are something." I mean, that was, everybody kind of thought that was Goku reaching God 2 and didn't realize it. But then again, that could have been just Goku that could just be Goku inadvertently activating the Super Saiyan God transformation without the help of the others, because Bills did say that world was absorbed into him whenever he went God. So it is possible that Goku just absorbed Bill's attack, which gave him enough energy, and he had enough rage inside of him because he didn't want nothing to happen to his family and friends, that he was able to activate that mode. So right now there will be no Super Saiyan God 2 in this game, unless it's a what if character. That would actually make sense, aside from confirming that it will include a Super Saiyan God 2, and that the Super Saiyan God 2 is canon and that it has been confirmed. Super Saiyan God 2 has not been confirmed. There have been details as to the new Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods movie have been scarce. We don't even know if the next movie coming out next year is even Battle of Gods 2. It could be just another Dragon Ball movie. We're not entirely sure what it is yet. Alright, getting on to the last bit of news. GameStop's date is scheduled for next year around Christmas. So we've heard January 2015 and next year around Christmas. So what does this mean? It means that people are trying to get hyped for this game. They're trying to speculate as to when the date of this game's release is going to be. They're basically speculating right now. They do not know when the date and time of this game is, because one website is saying January 2015, GameStop saying next year around Christmas, and I've even heard some other sources say spring of 2015. So it's really all over the map. The developers have not put out a specific date and time as to when Dragon Ball Xenoverse will be released, and they will let us know whenever it's ready, when they're ready to set a date and time. But anyways, that's all the news I have for today. I hope you guys hit that like button, be sure to subscribe, and leave a comment. Do you guys think that Dragon Ball Xenoverse will be the best Dragon Ball Z game to be released so far, being that it is being made by Dimps? Could it possibly be the best Dragon Ball Z game that we have, that we will see? Anyways, as I was saying, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Stay frosty, guys, and as usual, game on.